Few Tesla financial backers have for quite a while expected the new bureaucratic tax reductions for electric vehicles, and numerous Tesla purchasers expected to have the option to make the most of this credit. The EV credit, which is supposed to be basically as extensive as $7,500 for new vehicles and 4,000 feet involved, is one of the normal promoters for Tesla deals and requests before long anyway. While Tesla purchasers might get less costs for some Tesla vehicles, they may not appreciate such advantages with some other Tesla models. So for what reason are these Tesla models not getting the credit? Well, we're going to find out. Hello folks, invite back to Tesla tomorrow. The IRS has as of late distributed a rundown of electric vehicles and module halves that are qualified for administrative tax breaks under another Expansion and Decrease Act. The rundown incorporates a few Tesla models. There's another regulation that disposes of the tax break cap for automakers that hit 200,000 electric vehicles sold, and it's legitimate for buys made on or after January 1, 2023. While it's normal that Tesla EVs will meet all requirements for this, the way that other Tesla models are ignored shocks numerous financial backers and bulls of Tesla on the new rundown delivered by the IRS. Besides the fact that all Tesla Model Y vehicles qualified for the tax reduction, the IRS guarantees that these vehicles are not delegated SUVs. For what reason does this occur, and how might it influence the interest for Tesla vehicles? Later on, who should figure it out yet with what we do on the off chance that you like this kind of satisfied. Remember to like and buy in and turn on warnings to stay up with the latest for additional news and updates on everything occurring with Tesla. The U.S. government has said that the Expansion Decrease Act is one of the main environment regulations in U.S. history, and it incorporates $739 billion focused on greener power cheaper through tax reductions, decrease in discharges, and progressions in natural equity. When it got declared, the public authority said that it would offer new admittance to tax reductions as well as awards and motivations to diminish air contamination. The Expansion Decrease Act additionally has a few tax breaks accessible for EV charging. There is likewise a property credit for organizations that introduce EV chargers, and the IRS will counterbalance up to 30% of the complete expenses of procurement and establishment of energizing gear, which aggregates to around $100,000 for each charger, although a few Tesla bulls expected more. The new EV tax reduction did exclude all Tesla models. As per the IRS, there is a relevant MSRP cutoff of $55,000 for electric vehicles and an $80,000 MSRP limit for electric SUVs, trucks, and vans. The Tesla Model S car and Model X SUV are not qualified for the $7,500 tax reduction, and that is on the grounds that the Model S begins at around $105,000 and the Model X is roughly $121,000. The deals of electric vehicles keep on looking through numerous new and imminent clients have inquiries regarding meeting all requirements for bureaucratic tax breaks on electric vehicles, particularly now that there are a huge number of new attributes that have been reestablished for U.S. clients. The Expansion Decrease demonstration of 2022 is the most aggressive environmental regulation in U.S. history, and it means to make electric vehicles somewhat more feasible, or possibly that is the expectation. The bills endorsed into regulation by President Biden on August 16th have designated north of $369 million for environmental activity, and open door that financial plan is devoted to upgrading tax breaks for electric vehicle purchases for a car to qualify for the credit. Its batteries got to meet a base edge of part sources from the U.S., are nations with which as an international alliance, while the necessity for the tax reduction might hold a few organizations back from profiting from this honor. A few financial backers accept that Tesla was certainly on the rundown of vehicle organizations to meet all requirements for that tax reduction anyway. Apparently, the IRS just considers the Model Y as an SUV, despite the fact that it has 7 seats since the 5K Model Y long reach begins at just shy of $66,000, and the 5-seat Model A execution is valued at just shy of $70,000. These variations are not qualified for the credit. The Model 3 exhibition is likewise not qualified on the grounds that it begins at $62,990 and consequently goes over that $55,000 limit. Taking a gander at the whitelist of companions, the IRS is by all accounts conflicting with regards to grouping SUVs and vehicles with regards to EVs, which is obviously a portion of the Tesla vehicles to overlook something on the new rundown. Yet the inquiry is, will this influence interest for Tesla vehicles? Well, presumably, the earlier declaration of the tax break hit purportedly impacted requests last year, despite the fact that Tesla presented a finish-of-year deal limiting their vehicles by 7,500 to urge individuals not to stand by request, was all the while dialing back as EV purchasers were deferring their buys until the new year anyway. In all the way that some of Tesla vehicles passed up the tax reduction doesn't mean a future decrease in that frame of mind of these vehicles, regardless of whether Tesla's EVs really set the tax reduction. The vehicle organization is still up to take record of gigantic interest. Before long, for example, assuming that Tesla stakes costs similar to the interest for its vehicles will definitely develop, particularly as a vehicle organization keeps on enhancing its televisions, and assuming the vehicle organization decides to increment costs throughout the next few years, while request may not be however high as net revenues may be unquestionably going to increment before very long. Obviously there is. As of now, a rush for electric vehicles to get booked in and transported, thus innovation turns out to be more standard, and nations execute regulations that help the creation and offer of them. In short, EVs will probably fill in prevalence because of gas cost increments and the new administrated EV motivator that has recently started now for Tesla financial backers. The new update by the IRS ought not be a very remarkable issue. Tesla can undoubtedly pull on request controls if at any point there is a requirement for that, as electric vehicle request keeps on soaring in a few business sectors universally, and numerous public legislatures further boost EV buys. Tesla is impeccably situated to make the most of the interest. Additionally, there are a few different variables that have driven Tesla deals far higher in Europe in the past couple of months, like the cost climbs in gas prone to keep on helping interest for Tesla vehicles. And regardless of whether Tesla pull request triggers like bringing down the value of its vehicles, it is as yet going to be to help the vehicle organization, and it will likewise fix any interest issue on the off chance that there are any at all. Tesla chief Elon Musk has never loved shooters' endowments. The business master has recently said he needs no assistance from the U.S. government, in spite of the way that his organizations have gotten billions of dollars worth, and those most has truly revolted against the proposed electric vehicle tax reductions starting last year, expressing that Tesla needn't bother with the 7,500 tax reduction. And at a Money Road diary culmination in 2021, Musk said that the public authority ought to erase all sponsorships from the $1 trillion foundation charge that was as of late endorsed into regulation. The bill, which included $7.5 billion for electric vehicle charging framework, would probably help Musk's vehicle organization Tesla anyway. Tesla and its different leaders were more responsive to the tax breaks. As per potential leader, the vehicle organization sees the death of the expansion decreased go about as a critical lift towards speeding up its main goal, while additionally scaling the battery inventory network on the loose in the U.S. As per Tesla CFO Zachary Kirkhorn, the entry of the Expansion Creation Act is a critical lift towards speeding up the automaker's main goal. He told Examination during the organization's Q3 income call last year that it would likewise bring about scaling the battery inventory network at large in the U.S., despite the fact that at the time it further referred to that the qualification measures for the credit will not be completely clear until the depository division distributes direction. He in all actuality does anyway still accept that Tesla is very strategically situated to catch a huge portion of the credit for sun-based capacity and furthermore electric vehicles. As per reports, Tesla and SpaceX have gotten in excess of $7 billion in government contracts alone, and billions more in tax cuts, credits, and different sponsorships. As of late, Tesla has sold no less than $6 billion worth of government-upheld electric vehicle credits. These deals have 2 times lately purportedly had the effect between the vehicle organization posting a benefit rather than a deficit, in spite of the fact that Elon Musk disagreed with the tax reduction he had accepted, that at a general Tesla would completely meet the prerequisites for the credit, despite the fact that this didn't end up being valid for all tests on models it actually included from a Tesla's EV models, which is an open door that aiming EV purchasers will gladly take. Yet, what is your take on the cost interest for Tesla vehicles? Let us in on down beneath, and if you have any desire to know more about what Tesla's been doing over the most recent couple of days, feel free to tap on this next video on your screen. See you there.